experience without limit. It's a new TG Car programme that follows 8 young Irish people who get the chance to experience their profession in very different countries. So you went to Cambodia.
Yeah, I did. I was
and
so
you're
lucky.
a fashion designer, well, an aspiring fashion designer.
Yeah, just a student now.
Right.
So far.
Okay. And you went to see, because a lot of the fabrics we use in the Western world come from Cambodia.
Yeah, like so many of the shops here and stuff, like it's all made over there, like in sweatshops and things. But we didn't really focus too much on that kind of side of things, which is nice.
So the idea was just that just to open your minds to how things are done differently in other countries.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. We'll start with you, Siobhan, then. So you were there for a week.
Yeah.
Yourself and Aisling.
Aoife.
Aoife.
Yeah. And she was from Belfast, so it was quite different because it's Oscuelga, and the community were different. So it was fun though, getting to know new words and new ways of speaking Irish. But we were there for a week.
Isn't that mad? Where are you from now?
I'm from Kerry.
Yeah, so you have Munster Irish and she had Ulster Irish.
Yeah, I was a bit like, but we got on.
So the first day you were sent to one of these sort of home production units.
Yeah.
So describe that for our listeners.
So what it was basically a home production. It was like they were making. What our task was, we were making like school uniforms for like school, but it was like kind of mass production, and it was like we had to make them so quickly, because we had a boss man looking over us. It was quite mind-numbing kind of work that we had to do. Like, we were set the tasks of doing it, working the same conditions as the people who were working there every day. Right,
with just a sewing machine yourself.
Yeah.
And you're sort of, do you get paid only by the number of things you produce?
Yeah, well, see, the thing about it, like, is as well as it being really mind-numbing, you have to reach your limit or else you won't get paid that day. Yes. So you really are like baiting it out, like really trying to do as much as you can within that day, which is quite, well, for me it was really hard because I'm not used to. And
when you met that girl who was married.
Yeah, that we had like a bonding moment. Like it was really great. Like I felt in my heart, still I feel like really, my heart goes out to her almost because like we're the same age, and she's working in a sweatshop, and I'm so lucky in Ireland to be able to work doing what I love in fashion. You're
beginning to cry.
Yeah, well, like
for both of you, this was live. Like it's a TV program, that's fine, but it was genuinely life changing for both of you.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So you will always remember that.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Her name was, I can't even remember her name.
You will always.
Well, yeah, me tearing up and everything. No, but yeah, I have pictures with her.
You do have pictures.
Yeah, and I wish but the thing is, I do wish I got her address or something because it was just nice. Like we wouldn't have been able to speak to each other if only from the translator that we had. Yeah. But like we kept just being like, the sus, like when you see someone and you're like,
there's a connection.
Yeah,
a non-verbal connection.
Yeah, I wish I could have given her a present or something, but I didn't know.
Well, you can go back.
I will.
You're only 20, Siobhan, but when you see that, does it sort of give you this nearly overwhelming perspective on life and what you're doing? And when you're come back then and you're designing a coat with frilly arms,
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, like definitely, because before I went like, I'm real creative. Like I really like costume and fun things, and I always wanted to do crazy mad fun things, but since then I've kind of come back and I've been like, what's the purpose of fashion? It's it's pointless if there's not a purpose to it almost, so like I was kind of doing costumey things before, like designing, and I wouldn't do that if it was just to never be worn, you know what I mean? I wouldn't, it's just a waste, Yeah. But so if I was to go down the costume route, then I'd be designing for like films and things like that, doing costume design. But for now, I'm not doing that.
you were in the weaving village, which looked like a lovely place.
Yeah.
And you sat around that night. We'll talk about the weaving in a moment. And the people there told you about the Khmer Rouge, and you're only 20, so you wouldn't have known about that.
No.
So tell us what they were telling you.
They were just like, it was just crazy really to find out like about how terrible Popeye was and everything, because I didn't even know, and it was I don't know, it was crazy because it was nice to hear from their perspective as well. Like from my first hearing of it, I heard from the actual people who experienced it around the table, the family, like their whole place was destroyed, their whole house, their whole village, everything was destroyed by that guy. He was like a dictator.
Yeah.
And he he just took over the land, and then she was separated. The family, she was separated from her husband, and it was just really horrible.
And
but then they met in the end, which is lovely, and now they've come so far, which is so inspiring. Like they had nothing, and they built up their whole place, and they have such a great place for the community now, because their whole community was, you know, taken down, and now they're leaders of the community, which is just so inspiring, because that's where they get jobs now and everything from that household.
You weaved,
yeah,
which looks like a lovely thing to do. There's not a lot of, you know, it's a trade that's and a skill that's dying in this country. But how many
weavers,
people were doing it?
They were about, so they had like a weaving workshop, and they employed like women from around the community, and so, which is so great for them, because around that area, you know, it's all rice, and it's such a labour intensive job, you know, to be doing that, and it's not that, you know, they don't really love doing that, because they have to literally stand in the fields and put the rice thing in, and it's just, you know, weaving's much nicer. So they were doing that, the women there.
And you made your own scarf.
Yes.
And Aoife did as well.
Yeah, with the help of the women though, because I thought Aoife was way better than me. Like, I wasn't really getting the hang of it. Like, so I did make a scarf, and it's lovely, and I will cherish it forever.
Yeah. So where are you at now? You're in college.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to be a fashion designer.
Yeah.
What's the hit rate on that?
Hit rate.
As in, like, how many are in your class, and how many people will actually
get a job? Well,
yes.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. There's about 30 in our class now, and it's a cutthroat industry, really, but it's not one that I really want to be a part of in that sense. You know, I want to do my own way. I wanted to go about it in my own way,
right.
in my own, do my own business, because I don't want to be working under someone who's producing stuff to go and ship it over to Cambodia. Do you know, especially the thing that I learned most from the weaving place and Cambodia is that it's much more important, the story of the fabric and where it comes from, and how it's made. You know, that's what's really important to me as a designer.
And has it changed how you shop?
Yes, certainly. Well, I've always shopped in the charity shops, because that's the most stylish place to shop anyway, because no one's going to have what you are wearing, and it's great and it's fun. It's fun scavenging, like in Kenya, except for clothes, not food. It is super fun. It's like a little, it's great. And I used to shop in pennies, but now I always knew there was something wrong with it, do you know? Yeah. But from experiencing what I did experience, I really...
Well, they would claim where the clothes are made are, you know, ethical. Yeah, that's what they...
That's
what they would claim.
Yeah, well, actually, because I said I wouldn't shop in pennies anymore. And this winter, I needed a coat. And so I went on, there's a shop called Depop. It's like online shop. It's like where people sell their own clothes, you know, like it's like an app. Right. And so that's where
What's the name of it?
Depop.
So they make the clothes and sell them? No,
Depop is like, it's kind of like an app that people like you and me, we can just sell our clothes that we don't want anymore.
Okay, fine, right.
Yeah,
right.
and it's handy, like, Joe.
Yeah.
And so I decided I'd look for a coat on that instead of buying a new one from pennies or something like that. And then it never came. So I was really, sickened. Like, you know, after me
and
scouring.
Did you pay for it?
I paid for it. So I waited for ages and ages for it to come. And I was freezing because it was so cold this winter.
You were hard.
So I had to go and look in pennies.
Right.
So I did get a coat in pennies, but I said to the woman at the counter, I said, I feel so bad doing this. And she's like, why? And she was like, I was like, because, you know, like these things are made in
Cambodia,
yeah. And then she was like, oh, that's not true. And I was like, okay, well, it is. Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, then my coat came from Depop anyway in the end.
Oh, right. And they all lived happily ever after.
But anyway, when I do wear that coat, I say, yes, I got it in pennies, but I say it shamefully. And at least I tried, you know, first to do it the ethical way. So it's all about knowing.
It's all about knowing.
Yeah.
James, thanks very much, Siobhan Gurmagud. And it's on tonight at 9:30 and for the next 2 weeks on TG Cahir, Taithí gan Teorainn. Mary